welcome back, and thanks for joining me. This is SirLucien. Just wanted to say thanks for you guys checking out the video. We're going to go ahead and take a look at another mech. We're going to learn a little bit about its history from Battletech, and if you're playing it with the tabletop game, and then we're going to go ahead and look at it, as you can see here, in MechWarrior and see how it translates into the MechWarrior game. So we're going to look at today the 55-ton Griffin, and this is going to be the GRF-1N variant, which is the main variant that it started with. So let's go ahead and first we'll take a look at the Mech Lab real quick. So here we have the Griffin. And as you can see, this one is a jump jet mech. So we're going to have jump jet abilities. We do have a PPC, first one we're going to see in these videos, over on our right arm. And then we also have an LRM-10, which are our only weapons here. So PPC, LRM-10. This is basically just to absorb incoming hits, is our left. Now, if at some point you want to go ahead and change the loadout of this this variant, you do have up to, if we go back out home here, and we take a look at select mech, you can see here there are 0 ballistic hard points, there are 3 energy hard points, 3 missile hard points, 1 AMS hard point. No ECM for this one. All right, so for this variant. So just keep that in mind if you're taking a look at that. Let's go ahead and fire up a game. And while we're doing that, we'll learn a little bit about the history of the Griffin. So it was built in 2492. The Griffin was originally classified as a heavy battle mech, filling in the weight gap between mammoth machines like the Mackie and smaller recon mechs like the Wasp. And it was intended for close assaults. Combining tremendous speed and firepower in one frame, the Griffin briefly dominated in this role before being superseded by larger and better equipped mechs. However, the Griffin was very popular among commanders and pilots alike, and so Earthworks Incorporated kept it in production, this time reclassified as a medium mech and tasked with long-range fire support for medium lances. In this capacity, the Griffin has excelled, combining good striking power, endurance, and speed, and its only major weaknesses being a lack of close-range defensive weapons. So in our first match here, we'll come back to the history in just a second. We'll go ahead and actually see a little bit of that problem while we play here in this first match. So we have long-range weapons. Well, while we're waiting for the ready up, we keep going. So during the succession wars, the Griffin could be found in almost every unit of all the great houses, thanks in part to its diverse number of manufacturers. Besides being constructed from Earthworks factory on Keystone, the Griffin was later acquired and built by Defiance Industries on Hesperus 2, Kalen Industries on Talon, and Brigadier Corporation on Oliver, and Norse Battlemech Works, later Victory Industries on Marduk. It was even manufactured in the periphery by the Vandenberg Mechanized Industries in SirLucien. Only the Capellan Confederation lacked a means of building the mech, although they made up for it by purchasing a limited number from the Tarn Concordat. So we'll come back to that history in just a second. So here we are. We are long-range support. Nice spacious cockpit. We have a PPC. Remember, it is on our... We're just going to fire it just so we can see here. Stay with our group here a second. So we're long-range support. Got an Orion, and was that an Awesome? Or no, I didn't see what that was. It was a Centurion. 81 is good speed for a medium mech right off the bat without having to use, yeah, Centurion. So you got to keep in mind that you're going to be trying to snipe. We do have the jump jets to get us to move around, which is nice. Get on top of buildings, get over rougher terrain if you need to. Got our direwolf here coming up. And for me, playing this type of mech, you're not really strong enough with 55 tons in the armor capability to take a lot of hits. So it's definitely going to be a very cover and fire type fight. Nothing that we want to waste anything on yet. Sometimes they like to come through this tunnel, although I've got none of my guys at the bottom, just me. So I don't like that at all. Might keep an eye on that. A lot of times with this map too, and this is just specific to the map, not the mech, a lot of people go for that saddle first, especially from this side. And then the other team is usually, now that's probably a good target. That could be a good LRM shot. They're probably underneath. So you just got to keep in mind how you're firing your missiles. On a map like this, it's very easy to waste a lot of your missiles if you don't really know if they're next to buildings, underneath the platform, in the tunnel, which could very well be with these guys. So let's see. Let's take a look. PPC is on the hand, so you do have... There we go. That's a guy out in the open. Oh, gotta keep my track. So I'm gonna get some pokes. So with your arm, you can actually elevate it down further than normal. I think there was somebody right there. You do have no short range weapons, so for us to fight in the short range here, it's gonna be tough. And it's slung lower, so you gotta keep that in mind. Felt like something hit me from behind. Something is hitting me from behind. Probably my own teammate. See if we can get a better angle here. So keep that in mind. The PPC is slung lower on the right-hand side there. It looks like. So the angle is going to be a little off with if you're hiding behind buildings and such. Oh, I was hoping somebody's coming through. There we go. Something like that. That's what we're here for.
New target acquired.
I don't think missiles will work in here. Yeah, see underneath here, you gotta be really careful. PPC can hit pretty hard, so I'm gonna back out a little bit. There we go. Having one of the aim modules might be really good for this mech. Alright, I want to play that spot. Ah, see, your right arm is hitting that pillar as I...
Warning, incoming missile.
And I can't take a lot of shots. Be nice if I could get out and get my LRMs working too. But it's going to take some practice getting used to where you can fire with that. No, I'm just going to take hits.
New target acquired.
So I don't want to do that. Here we go. Let's get around here.
New target acquired.
One, two, three of us left, huh? We might be in trouble. So it looks like in this match we're not going to do so well. I don't know where the rest of my team is. Oh yeah, quite a bit of dead. They're just waiting for me to poke out here. See him? All right, we got to do something different. That's not going to work. I'm going to take a beating here.
Missile.
Yep, taking hits, taking hits. What's our guy doing there? See, this can be a problem. Close range weapons. All right. Not a good round. Team didn't do too well. I didn't do too well. Not very good damage, but let's go ahead and continue on. We'll play another match. I'll go ahead and... oh, yeah. We'll just watch this guy go here for a while we're talking about the mech. So during the Fourth Succession War, some of these manufacturers exchanged hands with the Draconis Combine, capturing Marduk from the Federated Sons and the Illyrian Commonwealth, taking Oliver from the Free Worlds League. This exchange also happened to coincide with several new variants being designed to exploit recently rediscovered lost tech. As such, variants meant specifically for either House Kurata, Merrick, or the Federated Commonwealth found their way into the arsenals of all of them. During the clan invasions, these manufacturers produced the new variants to meet the clan threat, while Vandenberg Industries continued to build the original GRF-1N Griffins, which is what we're rolling in right now. So let's go ahead and bring up another match. When Vicor Industries began shopping around its Project Phoenix initiative, Defiance and Kalen Industries signed on to begin producing the completely redesigned GRF-6S Griffin. Got a title there. Victory Industries later signed up as well after the legal battle between Wolf's Dragoons and the Lyrian Alliance saw the famous mercenary group selling its light fusion technology to both the Draconis Combine and the Free Worlds League. The League designed a native update to the Griffin, while Comstar had their own built as well, which honestly soon began appearing in the ranks of Word of Blake militia. Let's jump into another quick one here. So, primary weapons for the Griffin is the Fusagon PPC and the right arm. The PPC allows the Griffin to work in a long-range fire support role and is backed up by the Delta Dart LRM-10 launcher. We see a lot of the Delta Darts in a lot of the mechs we've been using. Mounted in a drum over the right shoulder. The LRM launcher also gives the Griffin some indirect fire support capabilities, and 2 tons of reload in the right torso allows for good endurance. The Achilles heel of the design, which we kind of seen here, is its lack of short-range weapons for when an enemy is capable of closing ranges and engaging in close-quarters combat, and the fact that all of its weapons are located on the right side. The mech is, however, equipped with 2 powerful battle fists for hand-to-hand combat. Something we don't have in MechWarrior Online is hand-to-hand combat. In fact, when we used to play, and actually you could run into another mech and knock them over, which I think was something that I actually enjoyed as a part of the game previously, because you had to really pay attention to where you were going, how fast you were moving, and that you just didn't bang into something. And if something was much bigger than you, it would knock you down. You wouldn't knock it down. So if I'm running around in a Jenner and I come up and hit this, the ass end of an assault mech of like an Atlas or something, you just fall right over. And I think that really lends itself to making sure you have good awareness and good piloting skills. But they took that out because I guess they felt like it was maybe too overpowered in some way, being able to knock mechs down. So let's go ahead and jump in and stay with our team, and then we'll finish up reading our history. So again, I'm looking for a long-range fight. In this style, we're going to be peeking up over hills and buildings, which I don't really like so much because that PPC is slung underneath. So we'll probably start with trying to get as much of our LRMs on target as possible, and then just see what we can do with our PPCs. We can try to do some jump sniping. That's not something I'm very good at. That's crazy. That shot come in here. I've seen other mech pilots that are pretty good at it, so they can jump up, fire on target, and then they drop back down, which is a very useful style. So let's see if I can actually... But I think it feels like you'd take a lot of damage to me. So you'd get a shot off and then you would
5%.
land back down. But
0%.
I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Target acquired.
Oh, yeah. So here you got to play that game of when is it a good time to fire your missiles and when is it not.
Target acquired.
See that guy feel... Yeah, see, to me, he felt like he was moving back behind cover. Moving back behind cover. Yeah. So I don't want to fire. We're going to move the left flank here, although this would be close range fighting. So this is me driving my regular mechs, not thinking about the mech I'm in. This is the move I'm making right now.
Target destroyed. New target acquired.
See, underslung, weird angle. I'm in a bad spot there. Got to remember the mech I'm in. Let's move around. I think I can get back up over here. We're going to do a jump jet test here. See if we can get up this.
Fuel at 25%.
Yeah,
At
there we go.
0%.
That's really handy to have as a... Oh, what's wrong? There we go. Really handy to have as a mech.
Target acquired.
Gonna drop back down. I'm not gonna get shots on him. Oh, there's a guy back here. And I can't fight close range. I've got to leave him alone. Got to back off enough.
Target acquired.
Maybe get some missiles. I think that minimum range for missiles is about 150 LRM. I'll check that when we get out of... Oh, getting hit in the back.
Incoming missile. New target acquired.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, darn it, right. Trying to play that little range where I'm still going to get damage. Good, good, good. One thing that's messing me up a little bit, there's only 2 weapon systems here, and usually I have missiles on my 3rd fire button.
New target.
So I keep hitting the 3rd fire button to fire those missiles off. Gotta get used to the mech you're driving. There's a guy that was shooting me in the back. Atlas can't move quick.
Warning, incoming missile.
Oh, somebody's got me lit up.
Target acquired.
I don't think I want to get close, though.
New target acquired.
But it's saying there... Yeah, see, I feel like I'm getting too close.
New target acquired.
That might be a good shot there. That should get damage on. He's going to come around that corner and see me. Good thing about LRMs, you're just whittling down that armor. Oh, okay. It's backed off. Oh, that's bad. And I just fired for no reason. Back out of there.
New target acquired.
See, a PPC won't do anything to him. I mean, it doesn't hurt me to hit him, but it's not going to actually do the damage to him.
New target acquired. New target acquired.
That should be a good enough amount of damage right there. It's got medium lasers only.
Target destroyed.
All right. A little bit better match for us this time around.
Acquired.
got extra load here, so I'm just going to fire out some more just in case. Wolfhound's a pretty fast mech. Probably going for the tunnel, maybe? Where's he going?
Target destroyed.
There we go. All she wrote. Okay, good match. All right. So to finish off with our mech, the massive and efficient fusion engine of the Griffin, giving it a cruising speed of 57.1 kilometers per hour. Although, as you can see here, I was doing 81 in MechWarrior Online. Combined with 5 jump jets occupying the rear torso areas for a total jumping distance of 150 meters, it was distinguished it from other mechs and has kept the Griffin in the game over the centuries. Unfortunately, like most other early mechs, the Griffin suffers from insufficient heat capacity with only 12 heat sinks installed. The result is that the Griffin pilots lacking the ability to do both must choose at the outset of a fight whether to engage or withdraw. 9.5 tons of armor plating compares quite favorably to many other medium mechs, although, as is often the case, the Griffin will find itself in combat with larger mechs. We can go ahead and get out of here. And for this reason, 2 pairs of false armor baffles were added to the mech. Those are those upper shoulder things that we'll see here in just a second. One on each of its shoulders, providing limited protection to LRM launchers and cockpit. And a smaller pair on the legs, protecting the knee joints. So we can see those are the baffles that were added here. To add a little bit of, and they were saying there are baffles added to the knee joint areas, as you can see. There are plenty of different variants that you can choose from. This is just one of them in our video that we're taking a look at. One last thing I'll take a look at in the Mech Lab just to show you. Under your weapons here, we have our energy and you have your PPC. You can see if you look at the PPC graph here where our damage is. So it has a minimum range of 90 meters is the minimum range. Oh, okay. So it is only 90. So as long as I'm at 100, I can do okay. I was thinking it was 120 for some reason. I don't know why I was thinking that. So the PPC, if you're under 90 meters, not going to work. Over that, we're going to be fine. And as you can see, the distance for that, you're going to go from about 90 meters out to optimum range is about 540 meters. You're going to get your max damage. You're going to start getting some fall off after that, out at the 750 all the way out to 1125, maximum range being 1080. So you can see that there. Just to show you the LRMs also. So if you're firing an LRM 10, again, they have a minimum range also. And so you have maximum fire range is about 1,000 meters. Optimum range, anything within 1,000 meters. And the minimum range, does it tell you that? I'm surprised the weapon doesn't tell you the minimum range. LRMs do have a minimum range, and I think it's 125. So you want to make sure it's either 125 or 150. So you want to make sure you're not firing your LRMs underneath that range there. I'm actually really surprised it doesn't say the minimum range under that description. Let's see about LRM 5. Nope. Interesting. That's something that they should add to the tooltip here, because I don't know if a lot of new players would know that without the minimum range listed anywhere. So, all right. So that's just a quick look at the Griffin. And again, this is the GRF-1N variant. There are several other variants if you go into the store and you were looking at buying the Griffin. So we can see it in here. Quite a few variants. There is a hero mech and a champion mech, I think. Yep, champion mech. And actually, for money, for value, the 4 million's not bad. It's one of the cheaper variants you can get into. Although I liked some of the other ones a little better as far as their loadout. So you might take a look at those, or you might customize it to your own liking. So, all right, I want to just say thanks for joining. This has been another MechWarrior and Battletech look at the Griffin. And this has been SirLucien. I hope you guys like these videos. Go ahead and hit subscribe, hit that like button, and go ahead and give us your stories of how you pilot the Griffin in the comments area. I'd like to hear how other people are using them, or tactics they like to use, or other useful tips for other Griffin pilots that they would be able to use. Because there's a lot of new players out there, and a lot of people would probably like to hear, how you guys run these. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.